Live. What's up, everyone? Aaron Nagler here with Cheesehead TV, coming to you live on the YouTube channel. It's Tuesday, I believe. Yeah, Tuesday. We'll go with Tuesday, July 21st. That is one day closer to rookies reporting. Obviously, yesterday we got the news that the Packers rookies were supposed to be reporting today, but that was delayed. But now Jim Owczarski, the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, late in the evening, reporting that the rookies will be coming into Lambeau Field, the facility, at sometime on Thursday. So a few days delayed. The union and the league coming to terms on COVID testing. The protocols are squared away. Daily testing, I won't go into the particulars because I'm sure everyone has read it or can go about reading it. Now, of course, the real nit to pick between the league and the union is the money, things like being able to opt out, etc. We'll see. Hopefully that gets squared away in the next day or two. Also, later today, I think it is, maybe tomorrow, the Packers will be releasing their financial report. Obviously, that fiscal year ends in March, so it will be very rosy, very good. This time next year, probably be a little different. So those are things to look forward to as we head into the rest of this week. Good to see everybody in the comments section. Hello, one and all. We're so close. We're so close to having actual players doing football things. And even at the beginning, they probably won't be doing football things. There'll be a lot of conditioning work. But still, football players in a football facility to talk about football stuff. God, we're so close. We're so close. Good to see everybody. Good to see Big B shouting about Jamal Williams, as usual. Good morning from Alaska, Seth. Good morning from New York City. How are you? Yes, I made one. Jay, you're here. Travis, Gilbert Brown and Santana Dotson are having a meet and greet at a campground near where I live this weekend. Going to be nice to see a couple Packer legends. Absolutely. It's funny, too, because Santana Dotson is one of those guys who I want to say gets forgotten because I think most diehards remember him, but he doesn't get mentioned a whole lot when you talk about those teams and that team, that championship team in particular. But he was a very key part to it. Great Packer, great guy. Matt, thank you for the super chat. Aaron, have they still scratched the St. Norbert tradition? Seems like it would be a good spot to have the players at in a bubble. Thanks for being here. Matt, thank you for the super chat. Yeah, no, the St. Norbert will not be happening this summer at all. I think in and of itself, the idea of having a bunch of people together is fine in the sense of once they're tested, but that's a lot of travel to and from, and they're not all on the same schedule. And I just think they didn't feel comfortable putting a bunch of professional football players stuck close together, indoors where the virus is supposedly much more potent. I understand the thinking behind trying to or not going to St. Norbert's this summer. I think it makes sense. Dustin, thanks for the super chat. Watching football with your dog is amazing. You and Vince are going to love it. Oh, so we've named the dog now? The imaginary dog that doesn't exist that I own, that has a YouTube channel? His name is Vince. Okay, very good. I'm glad. Just keep me informed of what's going on with my non-existent dog, please. Realistically, how many games actually get played? All of them, Jimmy. They're all going to get played. Now, maybe the season gets delayed. That's a possibility, I think, but they'll play all the games. All the games get played. What did you think of Jermichael Finley praising Rodgers? Didn't he hate on him in the past? Mark, you see, I get this a lot, so I understand where Jermichael's coming from. Like, you can't, and especially what kills me is that Jermichael actually played with the man, so he's allowed more than anyone to talk about the experience, what it was like, what he thinks of Rodgers' play on the field. But people, the moment you dare to criticize Aaron Rodgers, you're a hater. I think, no, Jermichael's critiques in the past have been fair. When it comes to his play, I quibble with his reaction to Rodgers' leadership style. But again, that's his experience, and he can speak on it. I think you can be of many different minds when it comes to what you think of a player. and how he performs on the field. You can say, well, these things, A, B, and C, I wish he'd do something else, or they kind of bug me. But overall, he's a fantastic player. He's one of the best. You can say it's possible. You can do it. So, yeah, Jermichael praising Aaron Rodgers after critiquing him in the past is no big. That's being human. Nothing wrong with that. Zero issue with it. None. Dustin, thanks for the super chat. What is the next way the NFL will try to screw up this season? Oh, man. Well, hey, they acquiesced to no preseason games, as we heard reported last night. Of course, what's interesting is we don't yet know, at least I haven't seen it reported, what they asked for in return. So whatever they're asking for in return, I'm sure that's how they'll try and screw it up. But hopefully that comes out sometime today. Could we see Jones, Jamal, and Dillon on the field at the same time? I mean, maybe. I think that's a bit of a long shot, but I wouldn't hate it. Have Dillon and Jamal. You start in the huddle, right, with all three of them. And you break huddle, and Jamal, they go to the split back set. Jamal's on one side, Dillon's on the other, and then Aaron Jones goes out wide and then motions into the slot. Bring it. I'm all in. I love this idea. Frank, thanks for the super chat. When do you think McCarthy's play calling became stale? Was watching games from 2014 and he was doing some innovative stuff even for today's standard? Well, I think if you talk to people around the league, 2016 was the tipping point when they went on the run the table gamut, so to speak. Rodgers just took over, and he was absolutely out of this world. And then after that, Mike stopped grinding, so to speak. And I know Trent Dilfer put that out there, I think, publicly. But a lot of people in the league were of that opinion, that Mike was just – and it's not that he didn't do the work, because he certainly did. But he knew Rodgers was going to change a lot of things. He knew Rodgers was going to kind of take over, so to speak. So it was just like, the AI became so self-sufficient that McCarthy, I think, felt, well, I'm not really needed. I mean, I'm going to call play. I'm going to come up with a game plan. I'm going to call plays, but I know 12 is going to change 65, 70, 80% of it. So, again, I'm not saying he didn't do the work, because I think he did, but he certainly didn't go all in the way he did earlier in his career. And I'm glad you're watching 2014, because that team was fun to watch. And Mike was ahead of the curve on a lot of stuff. You go back to when Favre was in town. They were doing RPOs with Favre. Now it's like normal and all the rage, but man, they were doing it in 2007. I remember people getting so upset, man. On Twitter, people, especially old offensive linemen, would be beside themselves. Were out of their minds on the RPOs when Favre would pull it down and like fire to Jennings on the side, the wide side of the field, because the linemen, the offensive linemen, are firing out run blocking, and they're 5 yards downfield. Like, people lost their minds. Now it's commonplace. What position are the Packers the thinnest at / you're the most concerned about? Well, Alexander, I'm not concerned. I say it all the time. The only thing I really worry about are my children. I certainly don't worry about position groups on the Packers. As far as where they're thinnest, I mean, I think the obvious answer is inside linebacker, because there's a lot of question marks there, a lot of unknowns, a lot of untapped potential, not a lot of answers. I think there's a lot of talent there. Hopefully it coalesces, but I don't think there's any question. And I know some people may say wide receiver, but I don't agree with that. I think that's actually a pretty robust selection of talent that needs to gel, obviously. But if you look at across the board, I don't think there's any question that inside linebacker is the thinnest group. Was this past draft a sign of a transition to J Love? Aaron will have to adapt, but it's about being a well-oiled machine when the torch is passed. Oh, wow. That's a very involved question. Somewhat. I don't think it's ever as easy or as clear cut as, okay, we are going to J Love now, and you are going to have to understand and get on board and just adapt your game, because you're going to play with Aaron Rodgers. He is not going to change his game. He is a 2-time MVP, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, etc. You are going to play that game with Rodgers. Now, that said, I do think this draft was a big planting of the flag, so to speak, about the future of the team, the future of the franchise, what their vision is. And that is certainly with Jordan Love, and certainly around Matt LaFleur's system. I don't think there's any question there. And yes, I think they will try as much as they can to lean into that a little bit more this year. But again, it comes back to 12. He's not changing. Maybe he gets a little bit more efficient. Maybe they call some more play action stuff off the run game, etc. But man, I keep seeing people talking about how, Rodgers has got to get on board. But no. Rodgers ain't getting on board with anything. He's still the man. And he's going to do what he's always done. And he's going to do it at a high level like he always has. And it's going to be a ton of fun to watch. We're not going to see the true imprint, installation, unveiling, whatever word you want to use, of Matt LaFleur's system, how he really wants it done, until Jordan Love's the starter. That's when we're really going to start cooking with gas on offense. Not to say that they can't be incredibly efficient, can't score a ton of points with Rodgers back there. I expect them to. I think they will. But Aaron Rodgers is not changing this many years into his career. Nicholas, thanks for the super chat. Which Packer player would you feel most comfortable around your kids? That's a really odd question, but I'm going to tell you this. I know one of the people that Packer fans really don't like is Martellus Bennett. And I have to tell you, I'm going to tell you right now, he was one of the greatest influences on my youngest, Olive, when it comes to humanizing football players. He did a signing here in New York the summer after he had signed with the Packers as a free agent. Before camp started, so he was doing a publicity tour for one of his children's books, and he was at Macy's doing a signing. He was doing a reading and then a signing. And we went there, and Olive got the book, heard him read, and then there were, kids lining up to take a picture with him, and he absolutely brought her in, was really engaging, was like genuinely trying to connect with her, not a simple meet and greet. I take the photo. Okay, next. Like that in and of itself absolutely blew her mind. This idea, and I have the picture somewhere. It's like he is like 10 feet and she's 2 feet, and it's hilarious. But like there was this mountain of a man who Olive thought was just, inhuman, so to speak. And she came away from that and she's like, that's my favorite Packer. Now, obviously, the way things turned out, we don't really talk about Martellus too much around the house anymore, but it was a real eye opener for her. And I'll always kind of like treasure that and thank him for it. Now we've talked about it since. And yeah, so it's like this idea that Marshall Newhouse talked about it on the radio, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, about how the modern media landscape really dehumanizes these guys, especially in the NFL. And I love it when my kids are around NFL players because it's like, yeah, they're just dudes. They're just guys. They're just people. I don't know. There's no Packer player I wouldn't feel comfortable with around my kids. Frank, thanks for the super chat. Name your dog Josh Jackson because he hasn't shown up yet. I love you guys. I love each and every one of you. That is so great. Have they signed the third-round pick yet? Mark, I have not seen word of it. I know. Josiah DeGuara is the one lone holdout so far. It's not a holdout. Still got 48 hours. Deadline spur action, as Andrew Brandt is fond of saying. So we'll see. But yeah, as of this morning, before I went live, I can't remember seeing that he had signed. We had that kind of announcement from the team that Jordan Love and A.J. Dillon had signed, and DeGuara was the lone remaining draft pick to be signed. But as of right now, I don't think he has. That said, I fully expect him to be signed by Thursday. How many games played before the season is canceled? Y'all got just so cynical. They're playing all 16 games. Maybe there's a delay. Maybe there's a pause. But they're going to play all 16 games. No NFL owner is shutting down the season. Are you crazy? All the money at stake? This is America. Look, we as a society have become really desensitized and fine with a lot of shit. Now you're telling me there's going to be a shutdown NFL season because maybe there's an outbreak here or there? Should it be that way? Of course not. Is it that way? 1,000,000,000%. It's America, man. It's America, Jack. There's money to be made. No one's leaving that on the table. Are you crazy? They're going to play all 16 games. Aaron will be on a revenge tour this year. Again, Jay? People keep talking up Aaron Rodgers' revenge tours, and then he comes out and doesn't really go ham. We've heard the last 3 off seasons. I'm ready for it. I hope so. I can't wait. But I've been waiting. I'm not talking like really efficient, 30-some touchdowns, he doesn't throw interceptions. And, I want ham Aaron Rodgers. I want 300 yards a game, 4 touchdowns, Rodgers. That's right. I said it. He can do it. He's still good for it. Let's go. Stanley, thanks for the super chat. How about you eat a damn salad? Man, Kevin King, the line of the summer. I tell you. People have been saying Rodgers' revenge tour since like 2015. Brett, exactly. And so far, the one real stretch we've seen is 2016 during the run the table period, which was out of this fucking world. The greatest sustained play at the position I've ever seen in my entire life. And I watched Brett Favre forever. But my God, that stretch was amazing. Who's currently best at their position? Devontae, Aaron Jones, or Aaron Rodgers? That would be Devontae Adams. Now, look, okay. I know I tell you guys each and every day when people talk about, did you see what Cowherd said? Or did you see some power rankings? Or did you hear about these Madden ratings, etc.? None of that shit matters. And I know this. But you definitely see a recurring theme this offseason where not only pundits, which, those people can be easily dismissed, but actual NFL observers, GMs, players, etc., feeding their stuff to either ESPN or Sports Illustrated, yada, yada. They really do not comprehend how good the big 3 are in Green Bay. All you hear is disrespect for Rodgers. Devontae Adams is maybe top 5, which is ridiculous. Aaron Jones not even included in the top 10 by ESPN. And that's a poll of personnel people and coaches in the league. So the disrespect, it is palpable. And I cannot wait. I can't wait for the big 3 of Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and Aaron Jones to make a whole lot of people look really fucking stupid this season. Bring it on. Do I have a favorite Frankie bag of bones story? You mean bag of donuts? Bag of donuts story? Yeah, not one that's able to be told publicly. I did see him on a flight to Appleton once and mentioned having met him back at the filling station in Appleton. And he said, I don't remember that, and I hope you never tell anybody, whatever it is. And I said, yep, nope, secret safe with me. So those Tuesday nights at the filling station were legendary between Winters, Chamorro, and Favre. Some good times. Good times. All the 346 NBA players just tested negative for COVID at their Orlando campus. That is correct, Matt. They did. Now, however, of course, that's the bubble in action, right? You got guys like Bledsoe, et cetera, who had tested positive, who aren't included in that because they weren't in the bubble. But yeah, it's a positive step forward for sports. Can't wait to get the NBA back on the TV. Cannot wait for baseball. Cannot wait for the Brewers on Friday. That's going to be exciting. People talk about they're going to cancel this and blah, blah, blah. Man, it was way too much money to be made. Thoughts on Antonio Bryan retiring for the 3rd time? Hey, salut, brother. Probably a future Hall of Famer. Hey, there's my dog. Thoughts on potentially bringing back a Psycho or 155 package on defense? I haven't seen them use it in quite some time, but perhaps that's due to the personnel they have. Well, Frank, that was very much a Capers cocktail, for lack of a better word. I think they could do one of those things where they get a bunch of pass rushers on the field. They have done that under Pettin. I don't think it'll be Psycho-esque. Although they did have like a snap or 2 of it Mike's first year when McCarthy was still in town. But I don't think it'll be predominant, but yeah, it could be a wrinkle. There's no doubt about it. Let's go. Mark Murphy, ABC, always be closing. Always be closing. Coffee is for closers only. Maggie, did you peep my drafts? I have not, Maggie, but thanks for showing up. Hey, and great job on the happy hour last night on whatever that thing is called with Wisconsin. I can't remember the name right now. It's live. I'm sorry. You and Perry killed it though. Great job. All right, I'm gonna have to go. Trivia is back tonight, so be here 5:30 p.m. Eastern, and one Perry Goldstein will be joining me. It's going to be very exciting. Please hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Cheesehead TV. We are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day. Go Pack Go.